And the survey says, we appreciate you so much for watching.
What's up, everybody? This is actor Darrin, Dewitt, Henson, and you're watching the Michael Finkley Show. Stay tuned because there's a whole lot more.
On the next Michael Finkley, co-hosts of Say That Channel, we have Janelle and Winston with us as they discuss their awesome platform. Next Finkley. Next.
If I can make it through the night, just to see a brighter side, 'cause I've been working all my life just to make.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thanks for joining us today. Y'all, again, I've said this many times. I love to interview people and meet people that do what I do, right? Again, no competition. There is only competition within me, for me, within me, by me, right? I love when others win and when they establish their platforms. You know, it's such an amazing thing because we're learning so much more about them and what they're offering to this awesome way, as we do within this industry of delivering things that you want to hear and want to view as well. So these individuals are having a blessing to me. I've been on their platform and now they're on mine. Yes, I am talking about Winston and also Janelle. They are the co-host of Say That Channel, and y'all, they do some incredible things when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, and so much more. I always tell them, where were you all when I was starting my business? I needed y'all. But definitely they have some great information to share. They share it all here on the Michael Finkley Show. So Fink fam, don't you go away. Back in a moment. Coming up, we have Winston and Janelle with us. Back in a moment.
Hey guys, I'm Sydney Henson. I'm a Southern rock singer-songwriter, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show.
On the next Michael Finkley, Dr. Zackory Kirk is with us as he discusses his advocacy for the African American community. Next Finkley, Monday. Hello everybody, it's Finkley from the Finkley Experience. We're an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. So we assist students with their college and career endeavors. We train school administrators on the state of first-generation students. And also, we partner with colleges and universities to assist with their first-generation population for easy transition from high school to college. So if you're looking for a presenter or speaker that presents on these topics and so much more, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com and learn about all that we do. We're looking forward to working with you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Yo, I'm excited to have these two individuals on my platform. I was on their platform this time last year, and now I get to talk with them. So exciting. So exciting. We have host of Say That Channel. Say That Nation. Come on, y'all. They are Winston and Janelle. Winston, Janelle, thank you for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Oh,
thank you, brother.
Y'all are so welcome. Winston, you've been here before. You were here way seasons back. Janelle, welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to have both of you here. You all doing some incredible things and informing individuals on various topics on your platform. So let's jump right into it. I'll start with you, Janelle. I love the power of the voice. What does that mean to you?
Wow. I thought of several things the minute you started saying that. One is a good voice. Everyone recognizes like a good voice, the voice that you just like to listen to. Like yours, Michael, you've got a really good voice. So I was just thinking about that first. Like there's just some, I guess, like tones or decibels, if you will, that like just are universally appealing. But then once you have the voice or you have a platform, the next thing is like, what do you do with that voice, right? Okay, it sounds good, but what are you saying? Does it create value? Does it help people? Does it educate people? Like, what are you doing with that voice that you have that people want to hear from? And if you recognize that, I think it can be really, really powerful. It could be a really big tool. And so I love that that's what we get to do on the show, is that we use our voices. I don't know how melodic it sounds to people, but we use our voices to be able to do just that. We want to educate people. We want to help people. We know a lot of people who are first-time entrepreneurs in the grind, trying to figure out, how do I go from here to this like major success? Like, what's happening during the ugly come up? And we just want to give voice to that, literally, like give voice to that, talk about that period and support each other in that area of growth in our businesses.
I love it. Winston, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually would echo what Janelle just said. It's, to me, more about what are you saying? I feel there are a lot of things, obviously going on in the world at all points, but right now there are a lot of things going on right now. And the question is really, who's saying something? Who's out there, who's talking about a lot of we can call them injustices, but just really some of the challenges people are having. One of the things that has come about since the pandemic, you mentioned us being on the show, or me being on the show before, was, this idea that a lot was going on for myself, and I needed to get out there, and I needed to kind of start talking to people about that. A book came out of that. There's a lot of stuff that Janelle and I have actually started to do in terms of projects around that. And it came from the fact that we were going through a lot and in our individual lives, and from talking, from using our voice, we now have a platform that we get to inspire people through. And we're just excited to continue building that and continue having the conversation, regardless of what that topic might be.
Exactly. You have to start it first. You have to start to continue to have this conversation. Winston, as we said before, you've been on. You're a friend and family of the show. You have done so much since the last time we talked, including starting with this awesome platform, along with your awesome co-host. How did it start? Because when I first ran into you, sir, you didn't have this. What's going on here?
No, absolutely. So if you remember, came on to talk about my book, which is really cool. But before that, you were it was just an interview.
Network.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Talk about it, like he's been on the show more than I have. Go ahead.
No, and it's because of that. So the relationship Janelle and I have is through our relationship marketing business. She's become a great friend, and one of the beautiful things about that business model is you get to create relationships. You really get to know people that you may obviously not have known before. I literally had never known Janelle before we started this business together. And we used to have conversations around our business. Obviously, those conversations would talk about life, how we were handling different things. And it led from there to us feeling that there was just this vacancy in the marketplace in terms of not necessarily, like Janelle said, knowing people's story. You see them shining, you see them where they are now, but how did you get here? What was that journey like for you? And it literally, I don't even remember who said it initially, but this idea of let's start doing these. Like, I don't remember who said YouTube or any of those things, but it was, let's start really having a lot of the conversations that she and I were having privately. Mm-hmm. Let's start just doing it for our team. Let's just let our team know, a lot of these things that we're discussing. And that turned into something really quickly where it was like, let's just not let this be about our team. Let's just really start getting out there. Let's talk about what we do as network marketers. But I think where it evolved, and Janelle, please jump in, is where we saw that there was such a big need for people who are starting businesses in general. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally a conversation I had with you, Michael, about what you did and where you've now taken your platform was this idea of you are brand new to this. Where do you go from now? Like, where do you go from here? And I think you had a conversation with a young lady. I don't remember her name. But I think it was even through that conversation that you branched out to some other platforms that you're now on. So there was just this sense of, right, needing to have conversations that weren't being had.
So to add on to what Winston was saying, we discovered, well, we did our research, we looked into it, and there are over 5 million people who have started their own business since COVID.
Wow.
It is one of the biggest surges in people and a movement of entrepreneurship that people haven't seen in a really, really long time. And so all of these people are starting, and they're coming from an employee mindset, right? So you have all these people who've been thinking like an employee, and like, okay, so like I put in time and then I get paid, and then I put in time and I get paid, and my boss only pays me enough to stay, but like never really enough, right? Like all of these things. But when you become an entrepreneur, your mindset has completely changed. You're putting time and energy, and you may not see a paycheck right away, right? But who's telling somebody that who just started a business? Who's informing them of this information? Who is helping them with their mindset, like, and showing them, hey, or here's a pitfall that you should avoid, right? Like on your way to success. There's just a lot of people out there who are looking for this. They're looking for community around this, all of that. And that's like one of the things that we realized. We were like, man, network marketing is the business model that we've chosen. And this is certainly how we met. But like, network marketers need this, and just like all these other people who just decided to become entrepreneurs, like we need to create community for them as well. So it's just really like blossomed into this idea of like, wow, we can really help a lot of people.
And that you are, because like you said, so many people are starting their own businesses, but they don't have the mindset, the training, the know-how, right? I think when I was interviewing Winston for the first time, he laid down so many different jewels. I asked the question, where were you when I first started my business? Because I needed that same type of guidance. That is why I love your platform. That's what you're doing for those individuals, even those individuals that are even thinking about, starting something bigger than what they are. Janelle, what other topics do you discuss on your platform to assist those beginning persons in entrepreneurship?
We have talked about a lot of stuff. I'll give you the tea on some of the more hotter topics, right? One of my favorites is, should I have a romantic relationship with somebody in my business? Should you? Right? Another one that I really loved is your plan B setting you up to fail? Ooh. Right? Exactly. So many people, like, they're like, oh yeah, this is going to be my new business, but I've got this backup thing, right? In case this doesn't work. But is it the backup thing that's actually keeping you from the success and what you really want? It was an amazing conversation. That was with Ellen, right? So if you're watching this, Ellen, shout out to Ellen. Another one of my favorites is for people. So another area of business that people sometimes forget about is the nonprofit world. Can you make money with a nonprofit organization? And shout out to Rochelle. We had an amazing conversation with her. She actually shared with people how she got her nonprofit off the ground, how people are able to do it, not only create money for the who you're trying to help, but then also like how to make it sustainable for yourself so you can also live while helping other people in that space. It was, again, a really, really great show.
Great conversation.
It was really great. And then two things. I want to say that kind of rolled into February, where we had Black History Month. So we did a Black owned month. And so every single guest we had on was a Black business owner talking about, what it's like for their business, the different aspects about what it's like to be Black while building your business. And then this month coming up. This month that we're in, we have March MLM Madness. So people who are in our network marketing field, right? They're coming on and dropping some huge gems. So far, we've had 2 great people. So shout out to Manny G, if you're out watching this, and shout out to Kathy G. Oh, 2 Gs. They both did an amazing job while they were with us. We're really excited for our next guests that are coming on. So do you need to build your organization by contacting friends and family? Do you? We talked about that with Manny G. Is it better to start a startup in network marketing, right? Is it? And lots more questions that we have coming down the road. And then we're looking forward to April because we're going to be doing a mental health awareness month where we're going to have individuals coming on who they're coaches, they are Reiki specialists who just work with people on their mental health and like how important that is for your business. It's so important. So we're really looking forward to what's to come and like just reveling in what we've been able to do so far.
I love it. Winston, what are some of your favorite moments of the show?
Janelle definitely stole a couple of mine. But what I will say is what I think love is when even I'm really surprised by what the guest shares. So there's definitely a lot of guests. I am not somebody that's into or know a lot about non-for-profit. So I remember that episode really blew my mind. I had a ton of questions that came up and then got answered for me. I never knew you could turn a non-for-profit into a business, like things like that. Like even just there was just so many things that we've had people come on now and discuss that even as a previous business owner, traditional business owner, even in real estate, there's just so many things and nuances that people talk about, the mindset stuff. That's why I'm also excited about the mental health month that we're going to do, because there's so many things. I mean, Ellen, like Janelle mentioned, shared so many nuggets about how do you get your mindset going. She suffers from, it wasn't depression. Janelle, what is
anxiety?
What is Ellen? Anxiety. Thank you. Yeah. Like even somebody talking about having anxiety, which is something that could be crippling, but the things that she did as a brand new business owner, she has an incredibly popular interior design business. So even something like that, like these are things where you think it's just, oh, I'm going to open a store, I'm going to start a website. It's like there's so many other things going on. We had Alex come on, Alex is a business coach, and we've had a lot of guests come on who say they get business coaches, and that's crazy because I literally didn't even know that was something that people were actively out there doing. So it's like you can start your business, you're out there, you're setting yourself up to fail, but there are these little things. There's just these little things that if you knew it in ahead of time, you could save yourself so much heartache, so much money. And people are out there doing it. Like Janelle said, 5 million people, but so many of them, we know the statistics, they're going to fail. And if they saw an episode, if they could speak to the right person, they wouldn't. And, our mission is to make sure that as many business owners survive or thrive, really, just by having a conversation or hearing from something that one of our guests has to say.
I love it.
Say that.
Say that.
There you go.
Hey, say that, nation. But when we come back, our awesome guests are going to give advice on business. Don't you go away, Think Fam. Back in a moment.
Next, Winston and Janelle gives us business advice. Don't want to miss it.
My name is James DuBose, General Manager, Head of Program for Fox Soul, and you are watching the Michael Finkley Show, the greatest man walking in his purpose right now. So make sure you tune in if you want to be blessed.
Colors. What the? Oh, God. This one. Yeah, right, Marine. So I guess we don't stand for colors, huh? I'm sorry. I was starving. What was you eating on anyway? Let me put you on. This that Lucy's hoopie pie. Okay. Hey, but before you go, Marine, what can I get me one of those? Oh, at all the Super Target locations, Sergeant. Okay. And where can you get your chart sheet at in the morning? On your desk. As long as we track it.
We have so much to talk about. We have so much to laugh about. All here on Finkley.
everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We're still chatting with Winston and Janelle of the Say That channel, Say That Nation. I love this information they're giving us today, especially when it comes down to business. But before we get back to that conversation, you know, and starting your own platform, it could be the most passionate thing in the world to you, right? But behind the scenes, it can be kind of hard. What kind of things have you learned? I want to start with you, Janelle. What kind of things have you learned in starting this platform and getting guests and booking them and setting up all the technology? What does that look like for you on a episode to episode basis?
Yeah, so the behind the scenes, right? Yeah. Behind the curtain. So there's a lot that goes on administratively. We have to make sure that we create. So we use a platform called StreamYard. So shout out to StreamYard. They have a great platform that we like to use. It's similar to Zoom in that you can be anywhere in the world. We don't all have to be in the same room, but it requires me, like a Zoom meeting, you have to create a Zoom link for the meeting to begin. StreamYard requires the same. So I have to make a completely different StreamYard link for every single episode, which then is then connected to YouTube. And how do we connect that to our Patreon account for our Patreon members to get access to it? So it's just a lot of things, and things that I had to learn. And I'm grateful for some of the friends that I've had in my life who decided to tell me some things about YouTube. It isn't anymore where you can just like post something on YouTube and then that's it. There are really strategic methods that you can use and that YouTube has created where you can go in and put, whether it's tags, hashtags, making sure that like you put the language, because then you can get subtitles and all these other like things that are really important to like grab people's attention so that way they can look at your show. And I didn't know any of that. I really just thought like, oh, like what I have is so great. Winston and I are like dropping so many gems. Like there's gonna be like millions of people who want to like come and see this. But I naively did not know that there was all this other stuff involved. And then apart from that, then it's just, to your point about getting guests, we've been extremely fortunate in that through our network marketing company, I mean, you have to network, right? And so both of us have created large networks of people who have been so gracious to say yes, right? Just like you, Michael, to come on the show. And I'm really thankful for that. It's actually something I was thinking about today. Just thinking like, man, like we've been so fortunate to have so many really amazing people, so many guests, and we're just so, you know, just grateful that people like want to be a part of this. And so that part has probably been one of the easier parts, but all of the other stuff on the back, I mean, and then we're not even talking about like social media, and then you got to like advertise on social media about your YouTube channel. And like, there's just a lot of different things. And Winston and I were just talking about this backstage or before this, we got together, and just about like learning how to be consistent on social media. I'm going to drop a real quick business tip. So one of the things that's important for any business, I don't care what business it is, small business, big business, solopreneur, whatever, network marketer, does not matter. Influencer on social media, does not matter. Every single one of those businesses requires consistency. And consistency meaning like every day you're setting aside time to do something towards that business, right? You essentially, you become your own boss, meaning you have to set your 9-to-5 schedule, or if you have a 9-to-5, this is now your 6 to 9, right? Schedule about what you're going to do during that time. And it has to be something consistent. It has to be every day. And by gosh, I think that's probably one of the hardest things for me personally, is just like, okay, we got to be consistent on social media, on what we post, on making sure everybody has access to all the links. It's we're human and we don't always remain consistent all the time, and just giving yourself grace, but like committing to being as consistent as possible is like the biggest advice I can give to anyone out there. So another thing that you have to like learn and manage even with a YouTube channel.
You got that right. That needs to be on a shirt. It's consistency, just everywhere stamped. Literally, it's what we've all learned in that. Winston, what are some of the know-hows behind the scenes that you've learned in doing your own platform?
Copy paste. No, I say that literally because one of the things is, to Janelle's point, have grace. Give yourself a lot of grace, because you will. I'm not even going to say you will make mistakes, but the other thing you'll have an opportunity to do is obviously grow. And the reason why I said copy and paste is a lot of even what Janelle just talked about reaching out to different people. Our email that now goes out to people, we modeled your email, which we got earlier on. I remember when I got an email, I sent Janelle the email I got from you. And I was like, you got to check out his email. Look how professional it looks. It has the hyperlink. It has all these different accents. We literally modeled our current email, which goes out to our guests or anyone that comes on, essentially, from the email that I got from you. So for many people, it's like that whole idea. And we learned this a lot in our business. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Now, you can make it your wheel. So it's not your email. We do send this. It is ours. But we modeled yours, because when we got yours, it was for me going, this right here already makes this such a more real business that Michael's running. And we took that idea, because it's like, what are the things that you love about, let's say you go to a store. What do you like about that store? If you're going to go start your own, find a place that you are already maybe getting value, find a place that you are already having fun or enjoying something, and model them. Again, I say make it your own, because we know the other thing I will tell you is we've learned things like copyright. We've had to change our logo. We've had to change our logo because our logo looked like something else that someone else had out there.
Shout out to my dad who made this logo.
There you go. Absolutely. Shout out to Mr. Villiers for that. You should use and really tap your network. I mean, we were in that business before, but because we were kind of focused on the one thing that we were building, we didn't realize that we had a lot of relationships with people who could obviously help us in this new venture that we were doing. So to Janelle's point, thank you to anybody who's ever been a part of the show, to anyone who's ever just given us some insight on things that we can change and adapt. I remember right after our first show, I reached out to a woman who I worked with who was in advertisement, and she gave us so much feedback. I mean, thank you, Jen L, for, literally so much feedback about things that we could do better. And we kept it humble. We keep ourselves as humble as we can. We know that we have a ways to go. And this is definitely one of the things I'll say for a learning point is we are open to the idea that we know that there's growth for us as we continue to build this, and we change things as often as we need to. We're not stagnant in anything. If there's something that comes up and it's not working, we're very adept to now moving and changing whatever we need to make things better for our audience.
Oh, wow. I love that. I want to branch off from that question as well. What is that next level? What does that look like for this platform? Winston, let's start with you.
Well, actually, I want Janelle to talk about that just because I will say my part. Interestingly enough, the vision, and this is why I will say, get somebody who has a vision bigger than yours. Even if you're starting something, I don't even know how to maybe put this in the words, but I didn't have the vision that Janelle had for what we were doing. I was literally talking to her about this today, and I said, I saw this as just something she and I would get on, do a couple of YouTube videos, like I said, for our team. And her vision for what this could be has gotten us on a national brunch pitch competition. Shout outs to Brunch Pitch and those ladies and what they're doing. Janelle knows the numbers now, and I'm usually the technical one, but Janelle understands the numbers now for what this platform could become. So I would love for her to share what that looks like, because it's great to have, again, other people around you who can maybe even inspire you to think bigger than you're thinking. So, Jay.
Well, it is true. We were just talking about how yeah, for Winston, I think this was like, man, this is great. I get to like finally talk the way I really want to talk about business, right? And I immediately saw this and I was like, yes. And then again, for me, it was the community. I wanted to create community around this. And sorry, I'm just going live real quick just so people can get a behind the scenes look at what it's like to do an interview, be filmed. But yeah, like for me, I was just like, man, the community, like we can really build community around this. I'd heard about Patreon before and knew that a lot of creatives were using that in order to create community and bring people to their work, right? And so people can support them in that and their work through Patreon. And so I thought, man, like we could use that. We could use Patreon in the same way. And so Patreon, it's memberships, right? So people subscribe to a particular Patreon person who they want to support. And each person has a different amount for their memberships. Ours just happens to be $4, $10 and $20 depending, and you get more stuff, right? Depending on which community member you become. But the idea was this is a passive residual income opportunity. So we've become familiar with that with network marketing because that's why we're doing it. Because, well, for those of you who don't know, Warren Buffett has said there are 365 days in a year, 24 hours in a day. And if you can't figure out how to make money in your sleep, you will work until the day you die. Yeah, I know. The first time I heard that I was like, I feel it in my gut. Ooh, right? And so once you become aware of that, you're just like constantly looking for creating sources, especially of passive residual income. And so I recognized through network marketing that was possible. Now my eyes have been open and I see that Patreon is a way in which we can do that. This is a way that we can be supported by our community members to keep giving back to them. And so that way we can eventually go full time and that like, this is what we do. Like, okay, so shout out to Earn Your Leisure. If you guys are out there and at some point in time you see this, you guys, for me personally, have been a huge inspiration because you started off being two dudes who just wanted to educate the community, all right, for the culture. You wanted to educate the culture about what it's like to invest. What is it like to do things in your business? They talk about residual income. Like they really just wanted to educate people. And it started off in elementary schools. Then they did middle schools. And then someone filmed them in these schools teaching these kids. And then they were like, you should do this for the adults though. And they were like, okay. And they started off, now these guys, they have millions of followers and subscribers at that. They show up and they've now, it used to be just in New York because that's where they're based out of, but they show up all over the country now having these get-togethers where people can sit live during their show as it's being recorded. They have guests that like just phenomenal top guests. And like, that's like, it grew from an elementary school, right? Like teaching the kids, and it's grown to just having such a huge impact. I'm just going to tell a real quick story because this was super inspiring, but they were in London. People knew they were coming out to London. They had their show where they, normally they record and have guests and do the whole interview thing. And then they had like a private event at some club or something like that. It got by through word of mouth what they were doing, that people literally lined up around the corner, and it was so many people that they couldn't even let them in. Like they had maxed out. And so they came outside and talked to every single person that was online that couldn't get in and promised them, don't worry, we will have something for you. And a week later, they did a private Zoom session for all those people that were on that line just for them because they couldn't get inside. And for me, I was like, that's what this is about. This is about creating community, creating value, and essentially creating a movement where, we're out here supporting each other and lifting each other up. So anyway, I love what they're doing and they inspire me to what we can become. It's just really exciting.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So you talked about what you're thinking about doing next, right? What advice would you give to that entrepreneur that is saying, I want to start, but I don't know how, or to the person that's saying, I've started, now what? Winston, let's start with you.
All right, I want to start. Well, for that person, it's see, I don't want to just, I want to say just get started, but you definitely should do some research. Like I said, find out who's in the field or the industry that you're in, who's having success. I've found, similar to what Janelle just mentioned, there are a lot of people who are in different industries who are giving out free content. There are so many people that are out there doing whatever it is, and they're giving out free content, and it's because they want other people to do well. I think there was a point, and it could have just been a lack of mentality or wherever, but I think information was really scarce. I think a lot of people held a lot of things to the vest, and they didn't really put a lot of like how they're successful or how they got successful out there. But I feel like that's just changed, or maybe it's just my mindset is more aware of it now, where I feel like there's a lot of people who are putting out information that will help you and save you a lot of trouble. And to the person who is already out there and you've already made that decision to start that idea or to get that dream off the ground, don't quit. Janelle and I have seen in our business, we've seen numbers come in. We've helped a lot of people. We've lost a lot of people. And at the end of the day, it's the fact we're still going. And I think that's in itself, consistency, like she said, is huge. But so is staying ability, if that's a word, or just a long-term mindset, maybe. The average business doesn't make it past year 3. But I think it's because a lot of those people, they probably didn't see year 10. They probably weren't even thinking about going the distance. And that's really what it's about. We don't know what that's going to turn into. I'd love it to turn into way more than what Janelle's even envisioning now. But I know ultimately the best thing we can do is be here 50 years from now. For the show to be here. I know that's something we've talked about, how the show moves beyond us, when we're not here. And the platform lives on. And I think that in itself, having that as a vision in itself is going to get us through a lot of the hardships that are going to come, or challenges, I think, that are going to come. And that goes for anyone who's out there doing a business.
Definitely. Love these words of wisdom. Janelle?
So the question is, what advice do you have for someone who's just starting out, right? There are gonna be moments where you're gonna be scared. There are gonna be moments where you feel like you're not good enough. There are gonna be moments where you're gonna feel like, well, who's gonna buy from me? Who's gonna believe in me? And yet, God didn't put that idea in your heart if it wasn't meant to be lived out, right? So just hold on to that dream, right? And just try as best you can to find other people who are doing business. If it's in the same area in which you are also in business, then like reach out to them and just ask for like a tip, advice, something, because I don't know, you may feel like you're alone. And I think that's what a lot of people feel like, especially when you're just starting out. You're just really not sure what you're doing. And like, should you keep going? It's been a week and no one's bought anything, right? Like, it's okay. It's just a week. Like, you just like, kind of like what Winston said, you have to be persistent in terms of like, you have to keep going and having that long-term mindset. But in that long-term mindset, it's totally normal if at some point you feel like an imposter, if at some point you feel like, I don't really know if I should do this. Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should just go back and like focus on my current 9 to 5, or maybe I should just go back to a job, like, period. I hear you, and you're not alone, and you just have to keep pushing through and just find your tribe.
Again, I must, first of all, both of you say that. Okay, say that.
I was about to say.
Say that. And I must ask the question again, where were you all 4 years ago when I needed you? Where were you? Because this is just some awesome information. It's foundational stuff, right? Foundational things that you need in order to see yourself and your definition of personal success. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope y'all listening, Think Fam. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Winston, where can we find you on social media?
I want something like Fink Fam. What's up, Fink Fam? I love that.
Well, y'all have Say That Nation,
man.
so.
I know. I know. When you said, I'm like, oh, I like Fink Fam. I'm happy to be a part of Fink Fam. You can find me at the W Broderick Jr. on Instagram, Winston Broderick. My face is up there. And then at Say That Channel at Say That Channel. Is it underscore?
It's underscore
on
channel.
Instagram.
So at Say That underscore channel.
Underscore channel on Instagram there.
Okay.
That's also where you can find us on YouTube. It's Say That space channel. Say That is one word, not two. That's also where you can find us on YouTube.
Okay. All right. You heard it here, y'all. Y'all, Say That Channel, Say That Nation. I'm just going to say that. Thank you so much, Winston and Janelle, for being with us and explaining this awesome platform to our viewers. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
You all are so see y'all get style. Look, say that. Big fan, don't you go away. Back in a moment.
Hey, this is Arjay Smith. I play James on The Rookie on ABC, and right now y'all are tuned into the Michael Finkley Show. Check it out. It's awesome. Let's get it going, y'all.
School districts, organizations, nonprofits, are you in search of a new promotional products company? Seekers Promotional Products is a Black-owned national company with over 780,000 products to choose from. Compared to other promotional products companies, they have the lowest prices in the industry. From pens, bags, shirts, they got you covered. They always remember that you are the customer and you come first. They always promise fast production and also fast delivery. With Seekers Promotional Products Company, you truly have the best. Check out their website at seegerspromotions.com and also on Facebook and LinkedIn. And tell them Finkley sent you.
Hey everyone, here's an Inspire Me moment in 60 seconds. And today's thought is, you can't learn style. I think it's in your DNA. Listen, it's not what you put on, or what you drive, or how you design a room. You ever wonder how you can see something one way, and then someone else puts their spin on it, and it starts to look even better? You see, it's about getting comfortable in your own confidence. Once you find that sweet spot, you can make anything look good. So next time you're ready to put it on, baby, I want you to wear it well. That's all I got for today. Remember to do all the things on social media. Now go out and make today absolutely amazing. As always, thank you for doing all the social media things such as like, comment, follow, subscribe, and share this message on all your media platforms. Even more, hit the bell notification so you never miss a video or an upload.
Hey, what's up? It's actress and singer Christine Horn, and you are watching The Michael Finkley Show. Boom.
Keeping your skin flawless and clean is important, and I have the products just for you. Welcome to Mimi's Natural Pantry, where she specializes in homemade handcrafts, including lye and goat milk soaps, body butters, and sugar scrubs. All items are handmade products. All items have simple ingredients and are vegan friendly. In a world where you can barely pronounce many of the ingredients in your everyday products, Mimi's Back to Nature offers an alternative choice for those who are ready to get back into nature. Ready to order? Visit their website at mimisnaturalpantry.com. All orders over $50 have free shipping up to 25 pounds. On the next Michael Finkley, Dr. Zackory Kirk is with us as he discusses his advocacy for the African American community. Next Finkley, Monday. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. I hope that you learned something from our guest today. Thank you so much, Winston. Thank you so much, Janelle, for being with us and just sharing about your awesome platform and what you do. Please continue because it is so needed in this time and in this age. Thank you so much. If you're not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Minute bell notification. We'll see you an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Visit us on, listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and visit our website, michaelfinkley.com, for updated things that are happening on our platform. Of course, U42, visit us at u42.com where you can watch our content there with some exclusive things coming your way as well. You want to look out. Thank you so much for watching, and guess what? We'll see you next time. Have a good one.